I'm ranking every summer 2024 movie I saw from objective worst to best. So if you want to know my subjective thoughts on these movies, go to my Letterboxd link down below and I'll have my list on my subjective thoughts. Anyways, these are going to be objective and I can only rank the movies that I saw this summer, which are these right here. Anyways, let's get straight into the rankings. The next review. As part of the beloved Alien franchise, Romulus had big shoes to fill. The film delivers in terms of atmosphere, successfully blending the horror and sci-fi elements that made the original and the series so successful. However, despite the strong visual effects and few tense moments, it fails to capture the magic of earlier entries like Alien or Aliens. Alien Romulus favors something more like Star Wars The Force Awakens when it comes to creativity. The Force Awakens mimics A New Hope to a T, and Romulus almost does the same for Alien, though it's not quite that bad. Fan expectations are and were high for anything in the Alien franchise, so the same was for Romulus, and while it does appeal to the longtime followers of the franchise, its reliance on franchise tropes and lack of significant innovation prevent it from standing out. Now, the ending is very, very creepy, and I think that's where it differentiates itself from something like The Force Awakens, but Resurrection did it first. Overall, I'm going to give Romulus a 7 out of 10 objectively. It's still pretty good. Now, on to the next review and ranking. The prequel in the Transformers series, Transformers 1, brings a fresh perspective by diving into the origin stories of the beloved characters like Optimus Prime and Megatron. The visuals and action sequences, a hallmark of the franchise, remain impressive, ensuring that fans are entertained. However, the film doesn't stray far from the typical animated movie formula, leading some critics to believe this is kind of a generic movie. In my opinion, this is a lot better story than what we got in the Bayverse, so I'm completely fine with that, and I think a lot of Transformers fans are. The lore is very accurate to what we see in the G1 show and other franchise lore, so I think this is a pretty solid film, and I'm going to give Transformers 1 a 7.5 out of 10. It relies a little too heavily on nostalgia and other things like the classic animated tropes to get any higher than that, but it's still a solid film. Now on to the next entry in this list. Quiet Place Day 1 expands the universe of A Quiet Place, focusing on the early days of the invasion in New York City. Now, with the cast led by Lupita Nyong'o, I know I'm butchering that, just forgive me, and Joseph Quinn, the film excels in the performances and the silent tension. However, critics noted that it lacks the sharp suspense and emotional weight of the original, with some scenes feeling a little rushed and underdeveloped. Despite these flaws, the film still delivers a fresh take on the quiet terror that made the franchise popular, pleasing existing fans while falling just shy of greatness. Somehow, this was one of the best dramas of the summer as well. I give this one a 7.75 out of 10. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes builds on the strong legacy of the Planet of the Apes reboot series. It continues to explore themes of power, survival, evolution, and how society interprets history. The film's visually stunning effects and complex narrative impress both fans and critics alike. I remember going to see this with my grandfather and everybody being very intrigued by what was going on in there. Its ability to balance action with a deeper philosophical question sets it apart from the other summer blockbusters. However, the slower pacing and heavier focus on political themes may have alienated some viewers, my little cousin being one of those, not understanding the story as much as something like Twisters. Yes, that does have an effect to objectively how people see things. Nevertheless, the film's risk in storytelling and thematic depth really paid off, securing it as one of the most thoughtful entries of the summer. Personally, I hope Planet of the Apes turned itself into an anthology of sorts, exploring human societal norms further. Now, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes gets a solid 8 out of 10. Now let's go to the next review. Deadpool and Wolverine was a crossover event that brought together two of the most beloved characters in the Marvel Universe, and it didn't disappoint in terms of humor, action, and fan service. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman reprised their role with charisma, delivering the banter and meta humor fans were expecting and wanting. However, some critics, and kind of myself, felt that the film relied too heavily on previous jokes and familiar dynamics while just being completely fan service and not having an actual story. Basically, a cash grab. And I would agree, but Deadpool and Wolverine is fan service and entertainment at its pure finest. While not groundbreaking or new, the sheer star power and fun factor made it a box office hit and loved by many fans, including myself, especially for longtime fans of the character. Channing Tatum was also an undoubtedly huge standout in the role. I give this one an 8.25 out of 10. Now, let's see what the best movie of the summer is. Inside Out 2 is the best movie of the summer. As a sequel to one of Pixar's most beloved films, Inside Out 2 had high expectations and it delivered largely. The film continues to explore complex emotional themes in a way that resonates with both children and adults. Its unique concept and heartfelt execution make it a standout in an otherwise crowded summer lineup. It manages to be innovative in its portrayal of adolescence and mental health. Anxiety is not an easy emotion to express, let alone demonstrate to children, but Inside Out 2 does it phenomenally well, using sports as a caveat. For that, Riley is quickly becoming one of Pixar's fan favorites. Inside Out 2 equals the original, and I objectively think that it is the best movie of the summer. May God bless your day, and let me know what other movies you'd like to think. Now, this summer wasn't as good as last summer. Go see what last summer's rankings did here.